Welcome back, I'm the Watch Nerd. On this video, I'm very excited. We're going to go back for another hunt for steel. But right before I put you on the footage, I do want to keep reminding you of my Chanel chain giveaway. I'm going to be giving out this chain as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to be entered, there's the 4 steps in the description.
So you might recognize, we're going to jump into it, but really quick, that was an old intro because I didn't film an intro for this Hunt for Steel and I missed a week because there was nothing new. I went back this Saturday. There was nothing new in the store, so I didn't want to put up a video of nothing new uh, for you because you don't want to watch the same video twice. But I came back on Wednesday. These photos are from Wednesday. You're actually seeing this. I'm uploading this the day I went there. And yes, you read the title right. I did get an Oyster Perpetual green 41 millimeters. It is probably the classiest watch ever. And I think it's one of my favorite out of the entire collection because I have held other watches. And I will get into that with my review. I will get into that basically with everything. And I'm very glad I got the green because I told the AD, I said, if you ever, the green and the Tiffany would be, the Tiffany blue. But I think the green I think it's underrated out of all of them. Of course, it's still going over retail, but it's something I would never sell, and we'll get into that in another video too. But this is all about just my first impressions, my experience at the AD, and that's what we're going to head into here. So, really quickly, this is the Explorer 2, and then, of course, you can see the case of women's date just. But I think this is very important to talk about, too. So, I came in, I was supposed to come every Saturday. I go to the AD, and I was going to order a bracelet this Saturday for this Explorer 2. And I didn't, tell the AD before, so I never bought anything before the call. So, they weren't expecting anything to be bought. I just got on the waiting list. I called them the day of, like right away, to see and everything and get on the list. So it's nothing got to do with buying. I have not bought any watches from this AD, or I have not, pledged to buy any watches. I never said, okay, if you get me this, I'll buy something, because I don't do that. I definitely can't afford to do that. This watch is probably one of the only ones in my collection I can keep. I couldn't, afford to keep like a Daytona right now and things like that. But I can keep the Oyster Perpetual. I'm very happy, and that's really why I chose it. I was offered other watches, but we will get into that too because I was offered an Air King before, and it's not that much more expensive, but it wasn't the watch I wanted, and I'll make a whole video on that too. So let's head into it. Let's see the watch itself. So here it is. This is it. The OP green 41 millimeters. Just in look at the watch is so beautiful. This is fully stickered, of course. They did have to take the stickers off and everything. He showed me how he took them back. But when I did size the bracelet, well, he sized the bracelet in the back. He took out a link for me, and I was in such amazement. I did not film the whole thing. I was just speechless because it still didn't soak in. This is the night of that. This is my watch, right? Like it doesn't. It's the first Rolex I've ever bought in my life. I've never, I've held Rolexes. I've been around them. Have talked about them extensively on my channel. A majority of my videos are Rolex videos, and it's just awesome. Like there's nothing has a better feeling than to you wait there and it does get very tantalizing. It really does, and I get why people pay over retail. um I could never pay a dime over retail just because that is something that I just don't I can't fathom paying more than what Rolex charges. It's just not something, and it's not something I really want to support um over retail. Now, vintage is a different story, and we'll talk about that in future videos. But let's stay strictly on focus. So I won't talk too much about specs, but it's 40 millimeters. You're getting a fully oyster, but it's all brushed with polish on the sides, which means the case and the bezel is high polish. You're getting there's no gold bezels, there's no Jubilee bracelets. It's not the date just. They only come in stainless steel. That doesn't mean it is the cheapest watch in the collection in 41 millimeters, and in any size, it is the cheapest watch, quote unquote. It's not a cheap watch at all. I should say that because this probably is the best value in the collection of Rolex at retail because it is $5,900. It comes with the new 3230 movement, and then there's the 3231, which is in everything. Like the three, this is the no date Submariner, the same movement. It's in the Explorer. Anything no date, but those are the two major other pieces, I believe, because most of the collection is a date. But the only difference is on this movement and all the date movements is just the date. I mean, all the specs are the same. You get hacking hand wine. I can't describe how good the hand wine was on this watch. It's so butterly smooth. I mean, it's brand new. They told me nobody tried it on. They just put it in the box from what it came out of, and that's it. So they let me try it on first time. Yeah, it's just awesome. The construction is very solid on the piece, and it's definitely an everyday watch. This is, to me, a definition of an everyday watch. Very special and very excited, and I'm very excited to make more content with you. But having the watch in my collection, I still can't believe it. It just absolutely amazes me that I look at it all the time and it's there. And the green, I think it's a little bit better from the video, but it's much darker than online because I didn't look up other videos of the green. I watched a lot of the blue, the Tiffany dial, but I didn't see too much. And the ones I saw, they look like a lighter green. So I was very happy to get a watch that was green. That was the Rolex color, and it was dark green. It's not like the Submariner Hulk. I think that's a lot lighter because I've had the Hulk. And I'll take some pictures too. I'll put it in it. I'll actually compare the two different dials in a video. I'll do a separate one on that. But it's just not. It's a darker, richer green, and everything's the same. 18 karat gold on the inside markers and the hands, and you're not buying it because of that. You're buying it because of the whole spec. But we'll get into that. And the finishing is as good as their thousands. It's really really amazing. And the Rolex, what they do is they treat steel like gold. And I feel that with this watch because when you get a pre-owned watch that's all scratched up, it's very hard to see the brushing and the quality of the brushing. But getting it brand new right when the stickers are off, I looked intensely at this watch, making sure everything was good, everything was solid. But of course it is solid. But I like looking at the details. I shouldn't say solid. I just love looking at it, and it is so good. The brushing, the bracelet, everything about this watch is pretty much perfect. The only thing is what people say on this is the bracelet. More importantly, the clasp. The clasp is only that pressure. It is not fold. You don't get that extra fold over security, and you don't get glide lock. But at the same time, glide lock is only on the divers, and your security class. Yes, it's on the Daytona. Yes, it's on all these watches, but it's not on Datejust, and it feels very solid. I get it; it's brand new, but I don't mind it doesn't have that, especially because it's not a diver. It's not. It has a screw down crown and 100 meters, but it is not one of those need that type of clasp. And I think the clasp is better on this than the Datejust. But we'll get into all of that on a full lengthy review. I'm just unbelievably amazed that I can add this into my collection, and I'll do a collection review too. But that's where I want to leave it here. I would love to know your opinions. What is your favorite dial? This has grown on me. I say it's about equal to the blue, and I haven't even seen the blue in person. But I would love to hear all your thoughts and comments.